Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Days Podcast. I want to tell you guys, I thank you guys so much for subscribing and listening and watching and viewing and just being here. I truly appreciate it. And liking, okay? I just appreciate it so much. I want to tell you guys exclusively we will be doing more on Patreon and Spotify. Be sure to check out what is there already because they are over 40 minutes long. So I am talking, child. This ain't no, when I talk on here and give you guys free episodes, it's just to give you guys an understanding that, we are a very much unbiased, I would say unfiltered too, because it's not that I don't swear. I say what is, I really be here with you guys and we just make content as we go. And again, I truly appreciate it. We will be talking about somebody new today. We are going to talk about K. Michelle. So we're going to talk about Rebellious Soul, which is the debut studio album by American singer-songwriter K. Michelle. I know you guys may have known her for Love and Hip Hop, and as far as for me, and as a fan, and if she was to ever see this video, I remember K. Michelle from 2009, 2010, vaguely 2009, but very vividly 2010. Back when there was a time when 106 in Park would play, her song. I Just Can't Do This just so happened to have came on, and when I tell you I was blown away, I was like, who is this? No, I love you and I care about you, but you keep hurting me and I keep forgiving you and I just can't do this. Oh my God. And that was 2010. That was 15 years ago. So it's just, I remember her starting out and I just was like, I just hope she got a voice. Like, I really hope she really make it somewhere. And lo and behold, we have K. Michelle. And yes, this was recorded between 2012 and 2013. And yes, the album was released on August 13th, 2013 by Atlantic Records. Its songs were mostly co-written and co-produced by Michelle and Bianca Atterbury. Other artists who collaborated on the album include Tank, Priscilla Renee, Meek Mill, and Jack Splash. Musically, Rebellious Soul was inspired by Michelle's love for emotional ballads and the 1970s and 1980s eras in music. She incorporated different combinations of musical genres, including electronic, R&B, hip-hop, soul, and gospel for the album's songs. Well, yeah. Upon its release, the album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and peaked at number 1 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart, selling 72,000 copies in its first week. Rebellious Soul produced 2 singles, VSOP, released on May 20th, 2013, okay? That was my birthday week, okay? Yes. And Can't Raise a Man was released on January 13th, 2014. Michelle promoted Rebellious Soul through an album release party, televised live performances, radio interviews, and a concert tour. And I can remember, not even to just bring back Love and Hip Hop again, when she had performed on the reunion. And it's not even whether the cast were taking her seriously or not, but I was like, oh, you know what? She really is promoting a single, an album. Like, she is, this is the show that she's on, but she's really like, if I gotta say, K. Michelle may have been the first, if not one of the first, to just break away from just the love and hip hop side of things to, even if she went back, still remove herself, like even from a similar stance with Disney, where it's just, you just completely remove yourself from the franchise and just show people like, no, this is who the fuck I am. Like, y'all may see me going through whatever, and it may be positive with Disney or maybe negative with Love and Hip Hop, but I am out here. Okay. So, I commend her for that, along with Cardi B. And if you guys look at Cardi B's videos and episodes that I have done as far as for her first album, and even some reactions that I did to her recent songs, similar effect, where it's just like, you know, I was on this show, but in reality, no, I want people to really be seeing me as an entertainer and really out here getting this money. Okay. And by the way, it doesn't have to always be with a label. You can do things yourself, like me. The album was certified gold by the Recording Academy for sales of 500,000 copies, and Michelle won the Soul Train Music Award for Best New Artist at the 2013 Soul Train Music Awards. Okay. Michelle embarked on the album's first supporting concert tour, Rebellious Soul, in November 2013. Reviews of Rebellious Soul were generally positive, with critics applauding Michelle's personal themes. So, again, from what I'm seeing here, featured on the album were Trina, Gucci Mane, Akon, Usher, and R. Kelly. That was for her debut album, Pain Medicine, and that was back in 2008. We could talk about that album. I don't see why not. It was under Jive Records. She had parted ways with RCA in 2011 after initially signing with Jive. Yes, so, and she said, I wanted to get out of my label. I'll give you all a second, because I know what I just said a minute ago. We still here? Okay. So, I wanted to get out of my label contract because of things that I couldn't control. That happened to me. In 2025, that doesn't sound too far-fetched now, does it? Okay, now I talked about this with Megan. You know, even Sierra went independent. You guys can go back to my videos. I just love being able to kind of give a fourth wall in the sense of things that I have talked about so you guys can understand. Even for new people that are coming in, it's just like, wait a minute. He's trying to relay something here. Like, yes, I've talked about it a lot. We almost at 200 episodes. Yes, go back and look. And we're still going to talk about more. There's much more to talk about. Yes. All right, so I did not get dropped. They didn't understand me, and a part of me thinks that I didn't understand myself, K. Michelle says. In 2012, K. Michelle began appearing as one of the main cast members on the VH1 reality television series Love and Hip Hop. Because of the publicity given to her from starring on the Love and Hip Hop franchise of Atlanta, she signed a record contract to Atlantic and began working on her debut studio album. So again, Cardi had did this too, and I noticed on the rap side, it's, oh, why you did. There's people that's been signed to whatever label. I'm not gonna just single out Atlantic, whatever label. When you signed, you signed. Okay, but yeah, like I said, Michelle later announced that the title of her debut album was Rebellious Soul in January 2013. On April 23rd, 2013, I Just Wanna was released as her official buzz single for the promotion of the album. Yes. She said, I decided to name my album Rebellious Soul because it's basically me. I'm always in trouble for my beliefs, and I'm not a very scary person. If I believe it, I say it. If I feel it, I do it. And I don't really care who's there to judge because I'm being me. Okay? Now that is a very, very strong stance to be on. And as long as you are committing those things with faith, okay? So yes, received mostly positive reviews from critics. She got a 71, which indicates generally favorable reviews based on 5 reviews. So she had 5 reviews, and out of those 5 reviews, she had a 71. I believe with Doechii, she had a little bit more and a higher review. And so, and I'm only using that as an example just to kind of cross over between rap and R&B, because she charted higher as opposed to Doechii, who may have not has charted as high, and the reviews are not the same. You know what I mean? So it really varies when I tell you guys these things, and I'm glad that it's kind of showing that as I'm making more episodes for you all, because you guys can see like I don't play when it comes to just kind of deciphering what's going on and being read here as opposed to the truth, okay? And yes, they felt like oh yeah, there was somebody that said Michelle's rough around the edges demeanor, as evidenced in Love and Hip Hop, you know, points out that the album shows more to her than just the shaking the table moments. And yes, that's what I was able to really see with this album, and was already seeing even before she was on the show when she came out with that single I told you guys in the beginning of this video. It was like, no, she's been wanting to really sing. It's a shame when you gotta really, you know, put on a show, but no, when your artistry really stands out, people will notice. But yes, as far as the track list, let's look at the track list. Track 1 is My Life, includes the Right One interlude. Track 2 is Damn. Track 3 is I Don't Like Me. Track 4 is Can't Raise a Man. Track 5, VSOP. Track 6, Pay My Bills. Track 7, Sometimes. Track 8, Ride Out, includes Coochie Symphony Prelude, okay? Track 9, Hate on Her. So by track 9, there is a series of emotions. There is a sense of wanting someone, letting them go, I can't stand them, but then they do this. There is a lot that she explains in these songs when you actually listen to this album. And yeah, Ride Out is pretty much straight to the point. You're gonna be mad if somebody else was to ride out with me. You'd be mad about that now. And you know, she Hate on Her. Yeah, Hate on Her is another example, and that's right after that track where it's just she's pretty much saying like, you know, everything could be ruined all in one day. Years, months, weeks, all in one day. Don't matter what it is. But with her stance, she can't really blame the person that was, you know, involved, because it's like, whether they knew or not, it's not their fault that they didn't have a sense of what was going on, that they didn't really have to really care about. What did that have to do with them, you know? You're the person that shouldn't be doing what you're doing. From her stance, okay? And then track 10 is When I Get a Man, and then track 11 is A Mother's Prayer. But yes, she in the show was disclosing about a relationship that did not work out, and that was really, you know, horrible to her. And, you know, of course, castmates may have been kind of indifferent. Doesn't matter which one, but everybody was kind of looking at her like, are you telling the truth or not? Because, of course, you know, if you look at who K. Michelle is, she is a small girl. And, you know, even though she has a very, you know, nonchalant way of talking sometimes, she is very sweet. Like most artists are. And I think that she just wanted to just convey a lot, that she would be able to still kind of do more elaborating in her next eras to come, because she has about 5 to 6 different albums, okay? She kept going. She's been around for over 10 years now, and it really be something when you can kind of say, for if you're independent, or even if you are, you know, peers to her that came out in the 2010s, where it's just like, wow, you've been out for over 10 years now. Or even those that came before her that have been out since the 2000s, they've been around for over 20 years. And they got a few albums out, which we will talk about. But yes, there's a deluxe edition, bonus tracks, Better Than Nothing, track 12, track 13, The Right One, and track 14, Same Man. But overall, by the end of the year, she still was charting on Billboard 200 for it to be 167, as opposed to the US Top R&B Hip Hop album, she was 43. And then, as far as for 2014 at the year end, she was still charting in the US top R&B hip hop albums with number 44, which was only one placement, down. But still, for her to still be charting in a year's time, and then there's another album to still be released, because she had another album that was coming out after this, I gotta say, by either 2014 or 2015. Nope, 2014, December 9th. So I've said this in previous videos where there'll be albums that were released that still chart, and in the midst of those albums charting, there's a whole new album out. So then it's like, all right, well, I'm going to buy the first album and the second album, because now I have more music. Okay? So, yes, I thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll be back with more.